It is in the 40s right now. Oh my goodness. Maybe at some point in my life I should move back to New York so I could get used to like really cold temperatures, because I do feel like a wimp. But girl, it's cold. I'm cold. At this point I just need to start talking louder, because it's just noise after noise after noise, and it's like, if I wait until it's absolutely quiet, I'm gonna be done with this walk. Not the garbage truck literally being right in front of my window at the same moment I'm editing this part. So yesterday was my hip hop final. So now I have no more dance classes. So now I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I may or may not go back to dance classes next semester because life is lifing. Life is lifing. So yeah. But it kind of made me think about earlier in the week when I had my ballet final, and someone was telling me like they were surprised to see me in so many dances, way to bury the lead. I'm just like, okay, cool. And it made me think about how, sometimes being, undercover or being invisible really does work in your benefit. And by sometimes, honestly, I mean most of the time. Why can't I figure out what to do with this? Now, I'm not saying that I felt invisible in the performance or I felt invisible in the dance classes, because I didn't at all. But the fact that like no one really knew how much I was going to do in the showcase really pretty much showed my, sure, let's say power, really showed my power and my ability, worked on that ability to be able to do that much. And I know being invisible doesn't feel good. I'm a fat person in America, and I'm also black. So being invisible is literally, that's my thing. Like, I just, most of the time in society, do feel invisible. I think that is a good thing, because what you can do while you are invisible is work hard on building up your abilities in whatever area in life that you want to excel at. And people aren't watching you. People aren't paying attention to you because, for one, I'm going to say, at least for a fat person, for one, people are already expecting you to fail. So they're not looking at you. They're not giving you a second thought. But if you just keep going at whatever it is, whatever you want it to be, and then all of a sudden you just pop out and you're like, and people are like, oh, whoa, where did all that come from? It's because they weren't paying attention to you. They weren't, but you were paying attention to yourself. You were focusing on yourself in whatever area it is. It kind of made me think of, I guess, like overnight celebrities. I watched like this mini YouTube short series about Sabrina Carpenter, and he was saying how she's a definition of it takes 10 years to become a success. 10 years to be an overnight success, which I didn't know too much about Sabrina Carpenter, except for that, like, oh, she was on Disney Channel. But like, he laid out a whole bunch of stuff. Like, she's been singing and performing for like 10 years. She actually signed a 10-year contract with Disney. She put out 5 albums under Disney. Of course, she was acting. And I also didn't know that after the after the contract, she was in Mean Girls, the Broadway musical. I didn't know that. And now she is where she is. There was like a whole bunch of other stuff. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then this other actress, Ayo, last name starts with the E, and I don't want to say it wrong. And I did listen to a video on how to pronounce it, and then I forgot. Even with her, I noticed that a lot of people were like, oh, she kind of just came out of nowhere. But come to find out, she didn't really come out of nowhere. Okay? She's been doing stand-up comedy for a good while. She's been known in the industry. Also, maybe think so. Quinta Burnson. I don't know why my nose wouldn't let me say her last name. But obviously, She is a writer and the star of Abbott Elementary, but also she's been known on the internet for a long time. I mean, she was on BuzzFeed for many, many years. And I kind of remember actually really watching her, not only from that one viral video of her at the movie theaters, her being on BuzzFeed dropping that little series. I think it was called Roommates. Not Roommates. It was something about being in a roommate situation. I believe she wrote that. And then all the way to her, making Abbott Elementary, which, please don't shoot me, but like, I have not watched that show yet. I did go to a screening actually last year for I think this current season. I went to the screening for it, and I don't remember, he was like the director or something. I don't fully remember, but he was talking about how he has known Quinta and how like, oh, she was already known in the industry and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, because she's Quinta Brunson, like, of course I'm gonna say yes to her. And I'm over here thinking like, well, how do you know her like that? Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, it's Quinta. It's like, she wasn't really a big household name, I guess, in my eyes, until Abbott Elementary, But that's because, yeah, she's been in the industry, Sarah. She did YouTube. She worked for BuzzFeed, which was a pretty big media company at the time, which I knew exactly where their HQ was because I used to always go watch a show that was right across the street from BuzzFeed. That HQ is no longer there, by the way. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell y'all the location, but yeah, I got across the street. Hold on. Now, I'm not saying any of these women felt like they were invisible, okay? I don't know them personally, and maybe in their life at some point, yes, they did feel like they're invisible. But guess what? If they ever felt like they were invisible, they kept going, and look where they are. They're on stage, they're on TV, they're in big movies, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay? So now, let's go back to us regular folk, us regular people who ain't reached our potential yet. For the people who feel invisible, which is also still me, no one's watching you, and that's when you need to use that time to work on whatever you want to work on. So I guess let's go back to my fat people. Literally no one's watching you at the gym, okay? I know, like, people are scared, have valid fears of being scared to go to the gym because people criticize you or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go on a whole rant on society and fat people right now, but truly, no one is watching you. I really don't want to put the negative thought in your head, but like, people are low-key already expecting you to fail anyways. I guess, girl, if you want to, try to prove them wrong. Try to prove them wrong if you want to. Because some people thrive off of negativity, so this is for the people who need a little bit of that. It's a little bit of dash of that. But, yeah, no one's watching you. No one really cares. Everyone only cares really about themselves and what they're doing. But yeah, if you want to go and take a certain class for a certain skill that you're not good at, but you want to be good at, go ahead and do it. Because the people that you've potentially showcased those skills that are below the minimum, like, they're not going to be watching you while you're doing what you got to do to improve. Okay? But then all of a sudden, years later, when they haven't even thought about that, you're going to pop out and then you're going to be amazing at it, and they're going to be like, whoa, where did this come from? Because when they were looking, when those people made you feel that you were invisible, you were busy working. You was doing what you had to do. Okay? The sun is out and it's hitting on my puffer, and now it's making me warm. So if you feel invisible, I say take that as a good sign and just use it. Use it to your advantage, because there's nothing worse if everyone else is watching you during your progress. Because also, while you're trying to better yourself, you can make as many mistakes as possible. Make all the mistakes. Make every single mistake that you can. So then you can learn from those mistakes. We're back at the flowers. Oh yeah. They smell good again. Oh. But I think they're leaving now. Looks like they're starting to dry up. Oh well. Make all those mistakes so then you could learn from it, because mistakes are all learning opportunities. I feel like my brain is kind of starting to lose the plot. So, I'm going to go ahead and go. finish this walk, then go eat. I am so hungry. And oh my goodness, we had a potluck last night after hip hop class, and I bought so many bag of chips, and people barely ate them. Luckily, people took like the unopened bags, and one person took one of the open bags. So now I got like 4 open bags of chips just there. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with it? Like, I don't want all these chips. Now I know next time to like only buy 1 bag of each flavor. Because I thought we was going to go crazy. So I was like, let me buy 2. But no. So, yeah, there was honestly a lot of food left over, except for the pizzas, to be honest. But whatever. Anyways, I'm going to go. And I didn't put lip oil on, so I'm so sorry for this dry kiss.